about the different tribes? Like, you're from
I'm from the Yoruba part.
Yoruba part of the tribe. So, how do these tribes come about? And do you have like chiefs and different traditions in each tribe?
Okay, so the Yorubas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Nigeria has the northern, the western, and the eastern. The
Mm.
northern part are the Hausas.
Okay.
The western part are the Yorubas,
Mm-hmm.
and the eastern parts are the Igbos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and an Igbo man is very known for business. They are very business oriented and they are very smart. They like money. So, and most of them are very rich. Most of
Mm-hmm.
them are very, because they
Which
are
one you said is that again?
that's
The
the Igbos,
Igbo.
and they are
Mm-hmm.
very industrious. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very plain here. I'm not on the side of anybody. So I'm they are very industrious. The
Mm-hmm.
Igbo people, they are very industrious. That's both the men and the
Women.
women. It's
Okay.
very difficult for you to see a lazy Igbo man. Now the Yoruba people, they are very influential. They are
Mm-hmm.
also very rich, but they are very respectful. The main thing about the tribe, if you want a submissive woman, if you
Mm-hmm.
want a woman that can give you respect, because it's part of the culture to teach you respect from your homes,
Okay.
from
Yes.
the homes in the Yoruba culture. The
Mm-hmm.
Igbos may not do that because it's not part of their
Bringing in
upbringing
their culture.
and their culture. So, and the Yoruba people, they are very influential, they are very intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
they are very they are, most of them are literates,
Mm-hmm.
because most of them, what the parents push them more is go to school, you have to read, you have to read. Unlike the Igbos go to business, you have to do business, and they
Mm-hmm.
hand over one business to the other. But the Yorubas, you see Yorubas with 7 different certificates. Yorubas have masters, Yorubas have PhD, they are scholars
Right.
in the Yoruba. Then the Hausa people, they are very humble people. They
That's
are
the Yoruba.
no, the Hausas. Now
Also.
the third one, that's the
Okay.
Hausa. That's the
Mm-hmm.
northern people. They are very humble. They are very meek. They are also very influential because
Mm-hmm.
they have their places in the governments. They have, you see that they're always in the government. They're always in the ministers, the governors, the president. The past president was an Hausa, or
Okay.
an Hausa. Buhari was an Hausa person, but now the president of Nigeria is a Yoruba person, and
So
so.
my question is though, for tribes. So you have three different tribes. So so for instance, you're from Yoruba. Can you
Mhm.
get married to somebody from a different tribe?
Yes, you
Okay.
can get married from, and that also depends on the family, and just depends on personal grounds. But
Mm-hmm.
we intermarry. The Igbos can marry Yoruba, depending on the family.
Okay. What about
And
arranged marriages? Do you like family members will say like you have to
yeah,
marry
well,
this
this
one?
person,
Okay.
no, that depending on, even if you tell me that I have to marry this person,
Mm-hmm.
if that's not my kind of
You
person,
don't have
I
to.
don't have to.
Mhm.
But of course they do that. The rich always want
Rich to
to
stay.
still stay together. So, but we intermarry. I've seen Hausas marry Igbos. I've seen Igbos marry Yorubas. I've seen Yoruba marry Yoruba.
Mm.
I've seen Yoruba marry Hausa.
And
So
you got married to
I got married to a
Yoruba
Yoruba.
man.
I schooled in the northern part, so I have a blend of both the northern parts of Nigeria and the western part
Parts
of
of Nigeria.
Nigeria. So
And I liked how you mentioned the different tribes and you mentioned how influential and affluential and how the educational background is
hmm
pushed because I think some of the narrative that people think that when you're from certain parts of the world, like, you're not exposed to certain stuff and you're lesser, but I've actually seen it and I've heard it, how the influence and all the affluences back home. And if I love watching like Netflix and I actually see it. So actually like that. And still touching on the marriage part. In terms of wives per tribe, are they allowed to have more than one wife?
well, in Nigeria, basically, you are not allowed to marry more than one wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a general thing. Everybody, you are entitled to just one wife.
Wife, okay.
But there's a religion, that's the Muslim religion,
Mm-hmm.
that you are permitted to
Mm-hmm.
marry more than one wife.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the Muslim religion. That's a religious, on a religious background, but on a normal background
Mm.
is a man, one man to one wife. And however, of course, some people are not just being faithful to their one wife. So I wouldn't say for everybody. Some marriages still have concubines and the rest, but legally speaking, is one man to one wife.
Okay, so you basically just answer some of the questions that we have in terms of the Yoruba men and the Igbo, because we normally hear about it, but I'm really liking that and what you spoke about. So moving from language, and we touched on culture. I know that I was showing you, when I was with Kemi a while ago, I was showing her about the Jonkun masquerade that we normally have back home on Christmas days, and I was asking her in terms of similarities. So we were talking and we looked at the history that this was back then when we had they were enslaved. When the Africans were enslaved, they would have the masquerades like days leading up to Christmas, and those holidays they would parade with the king, the queen, and have different characters, and it was just a day to help them to just take away from their labor problems or the harsh treatment, and just to celebrate. And I was asking if you were aware or if you knew about those if you had similarities with those back home.
Yes, in the Nigerian culture,
Mm.
like I said, that's different culture. Like the Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausas, they have different things, different festivals that
Mm-hmm.
they celebrate. Like in the Yoruba culture, like the very popular one is the Eyo Festival, which is in Lagos.
Oh.
It's
And
it,
Lagos is a capital of.
no, Lagos is the capital of Ikeja, but that's like the center of excellence. That's
Okay.
like the commercial hub of
Okay,
Nigeria.
yeah, because we hear a
Yeah,
lot
I love
about.
Lagos, but the capital of Nigeria, of course, is Federal Capital Territory, which is in Abuja. But Lagos, I'm sure you even hear of Lagos more than
I heard
Abuja.
of Abuja too.
Yes, Abuja. So the two very important places that in fact three, you have Lagos, Abuja, and
Mm-hmm.
Port Harcourt. Those are the very interesting places of Nigeria. Well, of course, there are other places. Okay, so back to the festival.
Mm-hmm.
In Lagos, we have the Eyo Festival. In Osun State, that's another part of the Yoruba land. They
Mm-hmm.
have the Osun Festival.
Right.
Now, in Igbo, I know that they also have their cultures. In
Mm-hmm.
Hausa, they also have their festivals that they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's depending on each state under the tribes.
Oh.
So they have different festivals. So, but on Christmas Day, everybody just celebrates Christmas. So it depends on whatever state you are from. So it depends on what you celebrate in your state
Mm-hmm.
and what you celebrate in your town. So this festivals also, it still boils down to the states and to the towns and to the cultures and to the families.
Mm-hmm.
So different families have different festivals that they do. But the particular ones I know of very well is the Eyo Festival, the Oshun Festival. I know that Igbos still have their festival, and during those festivals there'll be masquerades, there'll
Similar
be
to what I
yes,
showed,
there'll
right?
be yes, there'll be masquerades, and they'll tell you no woman should go out on those days, or
Why?
yeah, because they believe if you go out they can use the person for something. So they advise that
Mm-hmm.
some of those festivals they would have announced ahead of time when they are going to do
Do the
this festival.
festival,
So
right?
and they'll give precautions, but it's basically in the villages and in the town.
Towns
So
and
it's not in the
cities.
cities, not mostly in the cities. The one that they do in the cities is
Mm-hmm.
particularly in Lagos. They have the Air Festival,
Oh.
and everybody knows that when is a festival, there'll be serious traffic and there'll be dancing,
Similar,
moving
similar.
from one house to the other. Hey, we are here like that.
That is similar to the Jonkuna because they move from different towns to different parishes. And once you see them, everybody's like, oh, the way, letting them dance. And sometimes they scare the children away.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
thing that I wanted us to touch on is we were talking about the susu. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but for susu is similar in Jamaica to what we call a partner, where we come together and we like put in funds, and then we have somebody who's a banker, and when it's your respective time you'll get that draw. And we were saying that you call that in Nigeria
Yes, we all
susu.
we have there are two kinds of way we save in
Mm.
Nigeria
Mm.
aside the normal
Banks,
banking
we have that
system.
too, right?
So the susu that you have,
Mm.
we call it susu too, but
Mm.
it's like a
No,
piggy.
we call it partner, like
Oh, you call it partner.
mm.
So what we do with that susu, the what we call susu in Nigeria, it's like a piggy bank.
We have that
Yeah,
too.
a piggy bank, and you keep your money in
Mm.
there. That's your own susu, or that's your own thing that you save.
Mm.
Then the other one that you call
Mm.
the partnership is like a cooperative
Mm.
in which we gather the money somewhere, like about a group of 10 people connected by tribe or by job or by whatever, that you
Mm.
can easily owe the person that you can't run away with my money. So
Really?
like 10 people or 5 people can come together, and maybe you have a kind of money that you want to be contributing every month. So let's say I have $500 now,
Mm-hmm.
and $500 in 10 places, that's 5,000. So and we pick numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So if I pick number one,
Mm-hmm.
in the first month, every of the 9 people will send me their $500 and give it to me. Then the second month, every other person, including me, will send my $500 to that person till around the 10 month. So it's for the 10 months, everybody has $5,000. So everyone has, it's just a way to be able to achieve more
And to save, you
and to
guys,
save
we need to
more.
write that down on paper so that I can try something like
Yeah,
that.
and that's why we actually do it with people that you know,
Mm-hmm.
and people that you can trust, and people that you know that this person cannot run away with my money. And so it's mostly
Why? Of course, you could still run away. You
now
can't.
the way they also did. Yes, there's another one that they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one is connected to your bank account.
Okay.
It's connected to your bank account. So you give them the order, they withdraw the money from your bank account, and so you can't run away with the
Right. I
money.
think we have something similar to that where you can have like a partner or a
Mm-hmm.
partnership with the banks and you put a certain deposit every month or
Yes.
every week. So we touched on food, we touched on language. What about music? In Jamaica or the Caribbean, we're known for reggae music, who came
Mm.
about through Bob Marley. What about you? I know we have our brother who we have claimed right now is Burna Boy, one of my favorites. So what other
Ah,
music? I don't know about Afrobeats. So what other music do you have?
yes, we have the Afrobeat, we have the hip hop, yes, the reggae. In fact, we use the reggae. In fact, the reggae beats,
Mm-hmm.
we use it to create songs
Right.
in our country.
And
So
that's a big controversy right now.
so the fact, in fact, when I didn't know that the reggae music was from the Caribbean,
Caribbean,
but
yes.
I just thought that the reggae music is just somebody's reggae, and that's somebody's beat. I
Mm-hmm.
just thought the person is Nigerian and the person is
So
African.
let me make a correction here. It's Caribbean. Caribbean.
All right, so now
Jamaica.
Jamaica. So I now know, but we have the reggae. In fact, the reggae sound the reggae sound is in parties, even in churches. We have the reggae
Yeah,
beats.
because we have reggae gospel also
Mm-hmm.
back in
We have the
Jamaica.
reggae beats, then the Afro beats. The Afro
Do
beats
you
is
know
now.
of any like Jamaican artists that you know about from Jamaica and that do reggae? Because
Well,
sometimes they do come across to the continent and do performances. We have Chronics, we have, I don't know if you know them, I think Morgan Heritage. We also have some other persons that come across.
some of them I may not know
What
their
about Bob
name.
Marley?
Of course, we know Bob Marley.
Okay.
No, who doesn't know? I knew Bob Marley when I was child. child. So aside that, we also have different other kinds of music. We have and it also depends on the tribe too.
That you're from.
Yeah, depends on where you're from. So what the kind of music, the way I would dance in the
Mm.
Yoruba culture
It's totally
is
different
totally different from the way an Igbo person would
with
dance. And
dance.
everything is just so interesting, very, very interesting, especially when they are dancing to your culture.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a way they are now bringing even the Afro beats
Afrobeats with
into
the
the cultures,
mm-hmm.
and it's just a blend of very sweet
And
things in
it's a
music.
wonderful beat, and I think it's a fusion too of all the different beats, especially with the Caribbean, the reggae, and all of that. So I think we have a lot of similarities, and that's why I say we're just separated by
Yeah.
a bow. The history is thick, and we're somewhat related to, if we can trace
Yeah.
back. I saw online people talking about like when they trace back their ancestry. Some of them were 60% Nigerian, from other
Yeah.
races and all other cultures, and I'm happy that we can connect. And how we connected was through nursing. So we
Nursing.
realized that nursing is multicultural because we have to work with different people, different persons from different cultures. And I'm really, really happy for the connection. In terms of nursing, we were speaking the other day, and I told you that back home in Jamaica, that our nursing degree, we have bachelor's programs, and it takes 4 years for us to become a nurse. Then we get take a board exam, and then you're into the you're then practicing as an RN. How many years you told me the other day?
Oh my God. My Nigerian nursing bachelor's is 5 years.
5 years. And I told Kemi that, listen, you know that 5 years plus it was seven.
Well, let me analyze it very well. 5 years for the bachelor's.
Mm-hmm.
After the 5 years, you have 1 year internship.
Mm-hmm.
And after the 1 year, you have one other year to serve your country. That's the NYSC. And that's when you're full blown
So that's
nurse.
so that's
seven,
7 years. And
seven
I
years.
told Kemi that back home in Jamaica, you'd be a doctor
Yeah,
by then.
back then.
And I'm sorry, but if I was doing that, I wouldn't be nursing right now. It would be a medical doctor.
Oh God.
7 years.
I wish I knew earlier. Maybe I would have come to study
Right.
my nursing in Jamaica and I would have been done within 4 years.
4 years, correction. 4 years.
But unfortunately,
Mhm.
even if I study outside the country
Mhm.
and I want to practice in my country, I still have to do 1 year internship.
Oh.
So I'll still have to come back to do the 1 year internship because the kind of people I will attend to in Caribbean are different kind of people I'm going to attend to in Nigeria. So
right.
they just started the program so that you'll be able to have hands on the skill because they believe that the bachelor's is more of theoretical, even though you go to practical and do community posting, but they still believe that the 1 year of internship will make you to have the skill and have it hands on the way doctors have it. You know, most doctors they really do not know so many things after their bachelor's, after their MBBS. It's after their 1 year housemanship.
Right, they do internship like that in
Yes, that is
Jamaica.
where they.
And I think the difference is back home is that while we're doing our 4 year degree program, we do theoretical first and then we do clinicals within that same year. So I think that's why it's cut down. So you guys probably focus all on the theory and then we do clinicals. But in terms of uniforms, do you wear we wear white back home with white shoe, the stocking, and the cap?
In fact, if that was what nursing was still about when I was doing nursing, in fact, I was crying. I didn't want to study nursing because of the skull cap. I call it the skull cap.
Let me tell you, I hated that cap.
The skull
and
cap.
That is why I went to a particular institution to wear that did not require to wear that hat. I didn't like it. Like I had traumatic episode from that hat because you had to use the ear pin it down in the top of my head was like peeling out.
Oh my goodness.
When I went to work, I was always told like, Abigail, you need to make sure your cap is white. So you know what I did? I got my cap cut out in paper and laminated.
Oh my goodness. So that you don't have to wash it out, Abigail.
No, I was just traumatized.
I just didn't like the white and the skull cap because I was really praying that I don't want to do nursing because of the white and skull cap. Whereas my mom was really happy for me that I went to study nursing. But fortunately for me, my school, we were not wearing white. We were wearing shirts. Well, we're really very nice. Abacha was wearing white and brown trousers and a lab coat.
So that's not bad.
So, but when you start practicing in Nigeria, there are different hospitals with different uniforms. So the uniform for a government hospital may be just white and blue, but they also have their scrubs that they wear maybe during shift, their night shift, and different shift they wear their scrubs. But the private hospitals too have their.
That's what I was going to ask. If you have private, and
yeah, we have the government, we have the privates, and community.
And it was so bad for me in terms of just backtrack to that hat. I was actually debating like what particular what particular what did you say, strength or weight does this have in nursing practice for that hat? Go back to that hat. Because I was saying this is people were actually saying that it was collecting germs.
Hmm,
Yeah, so they even so some
interesting.
people stopped wearing it. But one thing that
But
I
have they
like,
stopped wearing it in the
I
Caribbean?
think some places might have, but they're still wearing it. But when you're in school, you still